I think if we all took a second to look back at a lot of the things that happened in our lives, you'd be able to realize that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. And on this path that I've been on to becoming a different version of myself, a better version of myself, I've had to do this a lot because when you land in a place that was not in your intended destination, it does cause you to look around like, how did I get here? And what did I do to get here? Because I'm on this journey alone. No one was guiding me. So I can only look at it like, which wrong turn did I take? At what point did I mess up? And it's easy to get caught up in that and think everything you did was wrong, or you're a bad person, or life sucks. But I think we have to train ourselves to start thinking about the things that happen to us as things that happen for us. Because it's easy to look back and reflect and think that this is where everything went wrong. But what if you look at it as this is where everything went right? And I know in the moment it's hard to do that because when life is coming at you and everything seems to be crumbling, it's not really easy to look at it in a way where it's anything other than negative because that's what it feels like. You know, you have to take the feeling out of it to be able to look at it in a retrospective way that is going to serve you in a way where you can actually think about what is the reason this actually happened and not how it made you feel. Because sure, things can make you feel negatively and still be good for you. And I think that it's hard for us to realize that because all we are is a bunch of set of emotions on the inside, you know? And once you take your emotions out of it and you use thought as the motivator, everything can be differently. Think about when you're upset. That could be sad, mad, and you are thinking all these crazy thoughts, and then the next day comes and you're no longer sad and you're no longer angry. And suddenly you're like, oh, wow, I was tripping. I was having some crazy thoughts. I was about to do some crazy stuff. I'm so glad I didn't react in the moment. And that's why people say don't move off of emotion because emotion will make you do things that you wouldn't normally do. So when you take the emotion away from the moment and you think about, well, this possibly could have happened because I didn't want this anymore, anyways. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm upset about how it went down, but I didn't even want that anyway. So why am I sitting here being upset? This happened because I didn't want it. So it got taken away. And maybe I just don't like things being taken from me. Maybe I wanted to do it on my own. Maybe I wanted to get rid of it. But I've got to be grateful that it's gone. And this is something that happened to me. This happened for me, you know? And it's only until I think things are in the past that you're able to do this. If you can do this in the moment, I applaud you because I'm not even able to do this in the moment. I'm trying to work on that. But I think that sometimes, even though I do think life is better lived in the present than in the past, I do think it's the past that can help you get in position to move to the future. Because when you can look back at the past and you can take yourself out of the moment and look back on it, kind of like you're looking at yourself on the outside looking in, I think that's then that you can know how to move into the future in a way where you don't make the same mistakes twice. And you can look back on situations that have happened in your life and take that emotion away from the situation and realize that, okay, I got to be grateful when certain things happen in my life. And I got to look at those situations not in extreme ways that don't align with the person that I'm trying to become, but look at it and be grateful that it happened. you know? It's like that cliche quote that says, don't cry because it's over, be glad, smile because it happened. And it's kind of the same thing when you really think about it, because it's life is going to move on and go on around you regardless. How you decide to maneuver through the world that is shifting around you is up to you. You can be bitter, you can be jaded, you can be upset that things happened in your life, or you can look at those things and accept that they happened and maybe decide that they happened for you to become the person that you are now or that you're going to become in the future. Because at the end of the day, you have to change regardless. You know, if you think back to who you were when you were in your early 20s and the people that you were around, the things that you were doing, the way that you were thinking, if you are that same person now, if you're at least, let's say 30 plus or up, if you do you still think the same way you thought back then? Are you still around the same people that you used to be around back then? And if so, are you glad you're still around them? Because not everybody you have to get rid of. But I do think we all go through phases when we're around certain people that are in our life for a reason more than a lifetime. And I think it's the same with our thoughts. You know, we think based on the season of our lives. You know, we're in our early 20s. So because we're in, good shape, we're youthful, we are in our minds invincible, we don't have as much responsibilities, we think a certain way. But then once you get older and you have to start paying attention to your health, you want more quality relationships in your life. You have to start paying attention to your finances in the future. Maybe there's kids involved, so you have to pay attention to a whole nother life. Your brain should be thinking a different way than it did when you were young, wild, and free. And so I say all that to say you have to have a different way of thinking to be able to navigate that new you. And if you keep on carrying the things that happen to you with you, you're never going to be able to grow into that new person. Because at the end of the day, you're going to just remain the person stuck in that moment. So you have to look back at moments and take away from it what you could learn from it, and not look at it like a reason to be someone who is unhappy. Because at the end of the day, we all want what we want, but sometimes we're not able or willing to go after what we want. So if the universe steps in and assists in getting you there, you got to just look at it as, and you got to look at it and say thank you. Honestly, you got to say thank you for taking this out of my life. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the times, the things that get taken from us, we don't even want. Like maybe I'm upset because of the way it went down, the way that it happened. Maybe I don't like things to be taken from me. Maybe I wanted to do it on my own terms. Maybe I wanted to get rid of it. But all in all, on the bigger scale of things, it's gone. We get too caught up in the little nuances of situations instead of looking at what the actual point of the situation is, and it's gone. This relationship is gone that I didn't want anymore. This job is gone that I didn't want anymore. This situation is gone that I didn't want anymore. Maybe I didn't like how it left. Maybe I didn't like how it happened. But it's gone. I didn't even want it. I wanted it to be gone. This is what I wanted. I'm getting what I wanted. And yeah, I may now be looking around like, how did I wind up here? What all am I gonna do next? But if you move with faith and you trust in the universe, because guess what? You're not gonna be given something that you can't handle. So at the end of the day, the universe the universe isn't just going to take something out of your life and not guide you to the next thing. The same way you couldn't see how a situation ending was going to be beneficial for you, you may not see how the universe is guiding you and helping you transition into your next phase. Just have faith that it's happening. Because at the end of the day, one click and everything could be different. But you have to be willing to accept that everything is different and accept that it's different because it is serving you. Because really, I think there's more power in things ending than things beginning, to be honest with you. And I say that because when you think about things beginning, I don't think they hold too much weight in our lives because it's like an open-ended question. Where like, okay, this is starting. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I might be excited about it and I'm happy that it's here, but we're just going to, navigate through it and see what happens. But when things end, it's a chance to be able to reflect. It's a chance to be able to look back and do things differently next time in the future. It's a chance to be able to question everything and then come up with your own answers. It's a chance to be able to start over again and do things in a way that you didn't do them before. There's so many, I feel like, positives to things ending. But I think it's only when you look at things happening not to you, but for you. That's the only time that they're a positive. Because at the end of the day, we have to be able to look outside ourselves and be able to recognize what's the importance of the things that happen in our lives. Because all life is made up of a bunch of small things happening, leading us to one big place. I don't think it's more so about the huge moments in life. I think it's more so about the small moments that we don't pay as much attention to, that are leading us up to one grand moment. And I think that those are the things that we need to start recognizing, the things that we need to start having more patience for, and being patient with ourselves throughout those moments. Because our emotions are going to get the best of us. It is going to be easy to think, why is this happening? Why me? Why can't things be different? Why can't things be a certain way? But at the end of the day, I feel like we all have to remember things don't happen to us, they happen for us.